Okay, on lesson 19, first thing we're going to talk about is these value word problems. Remember that value means something, what something is worth, such as money. So Aaron had 50 nickels and dimes whose value was $4. How many of each kind of coin did he have? First of all, in this one sentence is actually two different equations. One is the number of coins that he had. It said he had 50 nickels and dimes. So we're going to say the number of nickels plus the number of dimes equals 50. Then it says the value of all those coins was $4. Now I know the value of a nickel is 5 cents and the value of a dime is 10 cents. So if I want to find out the value of all my nickels, I would say 0.05 times my number of nickels. And then we'll add to that the value of a dime times my number of dimes. And I know that is supposed to total up to $4. Now what I need to do is I need to find the number of nickels and the number of dimes. First thing I want to do is I want to clear the decimals off. So I'm going to multiply this equation by 100. So that's going to give me 5 times n sub n plus 10 times n sub d equals 400. So now I have these two equations to work with. So I'm going to take the top equation this time and I'm going to multiply this one by -5. So when I multiply that by -5, I get -5 times n sub n. If I multiply that by -5, and then if I multiply that by -5. Now I can add these two equations together. Those will cancel, and I'll get 5 times the number of dimes equals 150. So the number of dimes then is going to be 30. If I want to find out the number of nickels, I can just put it back up here. So I know that the number of nickels plus 30 equals 50. So the number of nickels is 20. Okay. The next one is another geometry reminder that if I say angle, angle, it's the same thing as saying angle, angle, angle. So I said angle AA is angle, angle similarity and angle, angle, angle similarity. So in your geometry book, it was just called this. In this book, you might see it written like this. Remember, that's the symbol for similarity. And it means if two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then the third angles in each triangle must be congruent, since each triangle's angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So let's get us a diagram to work with here. So let's say that this is 5 and this is y and this is 7 and this is x. As long as they tell me that this one is congruent to this one, I know these are similar triangles because these are vertical angles, so we know they're congruent. So by angle, angle similarity, the triangles are congruent. Now let's just say they gave us that this was 4 and this was 6. I know that the sides across from the congruent angles are going to be corresponding. So that means the 7 and the y correspond to each other. That means 7 is to y. Now, these angles are congruent, the vertical angles, so the sides across from them are going to correspond to each other. So 4 is to 6, which means then that 5 is to x. So getting that straight to start, then we can take two of those at a time and solve for a variable. Again, only picking one of the ratios at a time that has a variable in it. So these would be the two proportions that you could write. So this is 42 equals 4y. So divide both sides by 4 and reduce it, and you'll get 21 over 2. Or here you get 30 equals 4x. Divide both sides by 4 and reduce it, and you'll get 15 over 2. I hope that's helpful.